Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm B. Today I have very exciting news for y'all and I wanted to share it with you, and I also just wanted to give you insight on how I got in the position I'm in with this news that I'm going to share with you, and give you any tips that you might want to know if you want the same opportunity. So as always, before we get into this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. As y'all know, or for my new subscribers or viewers here, I am in nursing school, and I've been in nursing school for about a year now. And in some previous videos, I've spoken about what I wanted to do with nursing and what field I wanted to go into. I want to go into ICU nursing. ICU is critical care. It stands for the intensive care unit. I decided that I wanted to go into the ICU because I experienced during one of my clinical rotations working with a patient that was extremely ill, intubated and sedated, and that was my one patient for the whole entire day. And I really liked that hands-on, one-on-one care, giving, you know, all your support to 1 to 2 patients in a shift. And I really did appreciate being able to have the chance to learn so much, you know, on one patient, and like be able to take care of one patient with so many different concerns during that shift. So that's what got me into wanting to be an ICU nurse. So I've been trying to get a job as an ICU tech forever, and guys, I finally got a job in the ICU as an ICU tech. For those who do know, it's very hard to get a job being an ICU tech just because of the simple fact that they don't have multiple critical care techs. Usually it's 1 to 2, maybe 3, because the nurses on an ICU floor do majority of the care. So the reason why it was so important for me to get a job in the ICU before I graduate is because to be an ICU nurse, you have to have at least 1 year of experience in the ICU. That's the minimum that they want to see on your resume. So I really needed this job. It was so crucial for me because I wouldn't even be able to step into my career if I didn't get a job as an ICU tech. So this is super exciting, and I wanted to share with you guys how I got the job for those who are interested and are also looking into ICU as a new grad and want to have the same opportunity as me. So I started off applying for jobs in the ICU around March. I literally just got this job like a week ago. I actually started Monday, so super exciting. But I've been applying for jobs in the ICU since March, and I want to say in total I applied for about 30 ICU type jobs, and this is the only one that I got. So as you can see, it's really hard to get in. You just have to keep pushing, and that's exactly what I did. So I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on what I did wrong and then what I did right to be able to get this ICU job. So the first thing that I didn't realize when applying to the ICU is that if you're applying somewhere that you don't have any connections, that you can't really network, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna get the job. So I was applying to a lot of hospitals that I didn't know anyone who worked in the ICU there, and I just kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection, and I kept telling myself, you know, just keep applying, and I kept applying to the same hospitals and I was getting the same outcome. So I said to myself, I have to do something different, obviously. So then I decided to apply to a hospital that I have connections at, as well as having other outside connections such as, you know, my dean of students, different professors and advisors who have graduated who also are now working at that hospital. So I had about 4 to 5 different connections within that hospital, and that was number one. Always have connections. If you can have someone talk to somebody for you, talk to HR for you, talk to the unit manager for you, and have your name brought up, it's going to be instilled in their brain, and that way there will be a lookout for your application. Someone putting a word in for you will have them realize like, oh, okay, this is the person who wanted the job, let's put them in for an interview. Another thing I would say was really helpful for me is that they knew me in their system. So as a student nurse, I have a badge for that hospital, so they know me, you know, they're aware of me, and I worked on their med-surg floor, I worked on their neuro floor, and their neuro floor is basically one step from their ICU floor. So they know me, they've seen me, they're aware of me, and my clinical instructor who I had for neuro was actually the same instructor who allowed me to work with my critical care patients, that rotation. So they're really aware of me as a student there. So that's another huge thing, and I promise you, I feel like that was one of the main reasons why I got a job there and I got the interview so quickly. I want to say I applied for the job on a Monday and I got an interview within that same week, either that Thursday or that Friday. So it was all really quick. So definitely, if you can, apply for hospitals where you have your rotations at. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. One great thing about that is you know the hospital, you have an idea of where to go, where the units are, and you're familiar, so you're not walking into something and you're super anxious or nervous because you kind of know what to expect already being at that hospital. The next thing I would recommend is reaching out to an advisor for that hospital. I immediately emailed one of the reps that I had spoken to a couple months back about a SNAP position. SNAP positions in the hospital, for those who don't know, are student nurse associate programs, and they allow student nurses to go on every unit and do tech work and learn different techniques and skills based on the unit they're on. So it's a really nice program, and I wanted to be a part of it at one time. So when I had applied, one of the reps they have working with Hire actually reached out to me, and she told me she'd always keep my application on file, and if I needed anything or found an interest in anything, to let her know. So I didn't need to give her any new information, and she always just had me kind of in her pocket in case I saw or wanted a position that came up. And it just so happened that I wanted an ICU position, and when I had asked her, they had so many positions available, and I also had so many options, and it just worked out really good. Another thing that is super important and why you should have a rep and someone you can speak to. Let's say you don't have a rep but you have access to calling HR, which you should at every hospital. Definitely do that as well, because when I went on the website for the hospital, I actually didn't apply for an ICU job. I just applied for a tech job because when I looked on the website, there was nothing available for ICU tech at all. But I'm like, you know what, let me just apply for a tech job so that they know I have an application that's present on file. And immediately after I applied, I had reached out to my rep and I said, hey, I just applied for a job at your hospital very recently, and I was wondering if you have any ICU positions available because I did not see any on the website. And when I tell you they have full-time days, part-time days, per diem, they had full-time nights, part-time nights, they had everything available for this position. And I honestly was so shocked because usually you would think that if it's not listed, there's no more jobs available, but there were multiple jobs available. So it's so good to just have contact with someone who can tell you what jobs are available in case it's not listed, because in that way you can get the job you want and you can actually interview for that position. So if I hadn't contacted my rep, I'm telling you, I would not even have this job because it wasn't even listed on the website. So definitely network, use your connections, use your contacts, advocate for yourself, you know, speak up, say, hey, I'm looking for this job and I want this opportunity. How do I get there? Like, do these things because it's so important, because if you don't, most likely you won't get the job. But yeah, y'all, that's basically how I got my job in the ICU. I am super excited. I just had my orientation. It's already been a lot of information and kind of a lot of work. I have an 8-week training period, which is super long for a tech. I also have to learn how to draw blood, and I'm super excited about that because we don't get a chance to do that in nursing school. So I'm like so excited, and I like can't wait, and I just know I'm gonna learn so much. And then when I start my internship for nursing, I just know I'm gonna be so ahead and so ready, because I'm gonna have everything set, and like I'm gonna have that ICU background. And I decided to do full-time nights for ICU because, and just advice I have been giving, you learn way more when you work nights. You get a lot more knowledge because there's a lot more downtime. Everything's not rushed, there's not doctors, there's not attendings, there's not a lot of craziness going on like there would be if you're working a morning shift. So I decided to do a night shift. This is my first time ever working nights. I have worked, and I currently do work 16-hour shifts, so I'm not really nervous about the 12-hour shifts. I also have done 12-hour shifts during my clinical rotation, so that I'm set on. It's just more so being a night owl and working at night and being able to get used to that schedule. Thankfully, my training is on days. They always have you train on days. They never really have you train on nights. I'll probably train on nights maybe the last couple weeks, but since it's so busy during the day, they'd rather you train during the day. That's my update right now. I'm so glad that I was able to share with you guys. This is a huge deal for me. This is gonna really paint my path, you know, in getting into the nursing field I want to get into, getting into the career I want to get into, and then finally becoming an ICU nurse. I graduate next year, you know, so it's coming fast. It's so crazy. I can't even believe it. I'm so excited for this journey, and I just like kind of see everything prospering and just coming into effect. So I will definitely bring you guys along on my first day as an ICU tech. I will do a video on that. I start on the hospital unit Friday, so I'm super excited. Wish me luck. I'll definitely film it, give you guys a glance of what's going on, let you guys see the task I have to do, what I have to fulfill, and just take you guys on this ride with me. I'm super excited. I can't wait. And I hope you guys are just excited to go on this journey with me. So yeah, y'all, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns just about the ICU in general, or just anything at all, you always know you can leave it in the comment section below. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.